We have a special guest in studio. We have Angela Bennett from the SCV Pregnancy Center here to talk about some new and exciting things. Angela, what's going on?
New center across town over by Home Depot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Also,
the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
We also have in studio Tom Dirkman, Foundation's Building Committee Chair and donor. So welcome to both of you. Happy Friday.
Thank you, Tori.
Happy Friday, happy Friday. What do you want to talk about first, you guys?
Well, I'd like to talk about one of the most successful things that we do.
And what is that?
In addition to the free pregnancy testing and ultrasound that we do, the options counseling that we provide is one of the most beneficial, impactful services to our patients. And the options counseling is for those who come to us they know they have three options: abortion, adoption, and parenting. But they have questions. They're unsure about the lifelong impact of each of their decisions. And so we help them lay out the benefits and the risks as they see them through a grid of their own standards and values. And as they evaluate those, we're looking for gaps in knowledge, and we'll provide evidence-based education for them. And as they begin to evaluate and prioritize the benefits that they wish to have and the risks that they wish to avoid, the decision for a lifetime becomes clear. And we find they're leaving with great confidence in the next steps for their life. They also have a wonderful tool for future decision making on any transitional decision for their life. And months, weeks, even years later, women come back and they let us know that that was one of the most valuable and impactful things that they could have done in the process. They went with confidence as they left our clinic, and then they come back and tell us, this was the best thing I have ever done.
You find, Angela, that, pregnancy comes in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes you plan it, sometimes you don't. Right. Do you find people who've even planned a pregnancy get a little spooked and say, oh, what did I do? And they come and get guidance from you guys?
Absolutely. Life can change in a moment. Mm-hmm. And so even the best laid plans, the best circumstances can change overnight. And when those things do happen, outside help to lay out what they're seeing as their circumstances and the options before them, and even to filter their decision making through the grid of their standards, their values, their faith, their objectives and plans in life, makes a tremendous difference. Sometimes that first thing you think you need to do is not the decision that you really want for a lifetime. And so, yes, pregnancy does come in all shapes and sizes and all circumstances.
What do you think are some of your most successful programs at the Pregnancy Center?
I think the options counseling leads to the most successful things that we do, because we're equipping women with tools that are used in the mental health field and in the medical field for shared decision making. And often we're not learning those skills. How do we walk through a very difficult decision when there are opposing options, and they're very different. It's not two like dresses, just different colors. They're very, very different in nature and have a different impact for the rest of your life. So I think that really is the most beneficial and helpful thing that we do, besides the free services of pregnancy testing, ultrasound, and all the programs that come with that.
You must, after all these years, over 30, right, serving the SCV?
Yes.
You must have a success story of some sort that comes to mind. You must have, several probably. Does anyone just pop right out
Absolutely.
at your... Yeah?
Absolutely.
Can you share?
Yeah, and this isn't all that uncommon. Mm-hmm. We had a young lady come to us who was living in her car with her boyfriend, and she found herself pregnant, and they had been on drugs at one point. He still was, she wasn't. And she just knew that this was not the best time in her life for pregnancy, but yet she was already grieving the decision-making process. She didn't know what she was going to do, and it was too burdensome for her. And when she came to us, we were able to, confirm the pregnancy and with ultrasound after the pregnancy test. And then we were able to help her discover that there are housing options. There is help out there. and we got her connected with a maternity home where she could live under the roof with, in a safe place that was warm and dry, that had support for her. She was able to get to her OB appointments. She was able to have good, healthy food throughout her pregnancy. She delivered her baby. She was able to stay there, and they helped her get back in school. Funny thing, actually the success of that was about 5 years later, she walked into our office. And she walked up to the front desk and said, "I want to see Angela. I saw her 5 years ago." So I came out and I met her, and we walked back into my office, and she proceeded to tell me about her 5-year-old daughter and how she now is a special ed teacher herself. And had her time with us not occurred, she perceives that her life would have gone in a completely different direction, and that she wouldn't be experiencing the success and the joy that she was experiencing then.
And after 5 years, she remembered to come to you. She remembered your name. That must feel so, you must wake up in the morning feeling so wonderful. No, I'm serious, like looking in the mirror and saying, I'm doing something for this community.
Yeah. That touches that emotional
Right?
place of my heart that really connects with the reason that we're doing what we're doing. People are struggling, and they don't know, right or left. What's the best way? What should I do?
It sounds expensive. I mean, all these programs, all where you help people and how you help them. Where does all this funding come from?
Private donors. We really are not applying for or receiving government grants. I mean, if we would qualify for many of them, we would apply. But for one reason or another, we're not always qualifying. So this community is a very generous community, and they have done such a wonderful, wonderful thing for the last nearly 31 years now, in October, 31 years, in supporting and growing this center to the extent that we can serve hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women every single year.
Speaking of donor,
yes,
you have a donor right next to you, Tom Dirkman, Foundation's Building Committee Chair and donor. Hi, Tom. Good morning.
Hey, Tori.
What brought you to the Pregnancy Center?
Primarily my wife from a few years ago got me introduced to the Pregnancy Center. And over the years since that time, I've gotten more and more familiar with what the Pregnancy Center does, how they do it, Angela's work and passion for the lives that come into the Pregnancy Center.
There has to be passion for 31 years, right? You have to have, right?
yes.
Oh, and it's a passionate cause. We're dealing with life, and the life of the moms, the dads, their extended families, their decisions about whether, as Angela said, to carry or not. And I've been involved, and my wife has been involved over the last few years, actually for probably more like the last few decades, in causes that involve youth. Boys and Girls Club, College of the Canyons. We've been involved in their programs, and those things seem to be youth-oriented, and that seems to be where our heart is. And when the opportunity came along just a few years ago to get more directly involved in the Pregnancy Center, we decided that this was something that we have a heart for, that we want to make a priority of, and that we feel that we've been very blessed in the resources that we've been given and the relationships that we've developed in this community. And if we can use those things to support the work at the Pregnancy Center, then we should.
And you're the Foundation's Building Committee Chair.
Correct.
Fancy title, Tom.
Yeah, fancy title.
Nice fancy. What is your largest building campaign right now?
Well, we last year were very blessed to be able to move the Pregnancy Center from spaces that we were leasing on Valencia Boulevard, medical office spaces, to condominium spaces, medical condo spaces near at the corner of Rye Canyon and Newhall Ranch Road near the Home Depot Center. There. And as of the first of the year this year, because of the fundraising and the work that was done last year, we were able to move the Pregnancy Center into those brand new spaces with the intention of, spaces are just spaces, but the work that goes on there dramatically impacts lives. And our idea is that more of what Angela is talking about and the work that they do, Angela and her staff, we be able to have more clients that we can have the kind of life-changing experiences that she just used as an example with the gal who was living out of her car trying to make a decision, maybe the most important decision, probably the most important decision she'll ever make in her entire life. And she has people like Angela and others there that can help her through that whole process. So
Tom and Angela,
we can be part of it.
Question for both of you. That leads me to the final question here. What, as a community, can we do to help you guys?
The most important thing that the community can do is to get the word out. People come to us when they need us, but if they knew about us in advance, we could not only be available for them, but others in their lives that may need us in the process or in the time being.
We want to make the pregnancy center a bit proactive rather than reactive. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Absolutely.
Is there a number, a phone number, a website? Where do you want to direct our listeners to?
Both. Website is scvpc.org, and you can request an appointment right from that website, or you can call directly to 661-255-0084.
If you miss that, if you're driving around, you can't write it down, and you want to get in touch with Angela or any of her staff, or Tom, anyone at the SCV Pregnancy Center, we do have this information right here at the station, hometownstation.com, or call us directly and we'll get you to the Pregnancy Center. That is scvpc.org, 255-0084. Angela Bennett, Tom Dirkman, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Sounds so exciting. The new building, the new facility, and all those things that you're doing. 31 years of serving the SCV. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tori.
A pleasure to